Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I offer my humble obeisance and salutations to our beloved Paramapujya Parottama Sadguru Shri Srikantananda Saraswati Maharaj, a divine being who had very divine experience at the age of 6 itself, and since then his knowledge, his love, and the way he is solving the problems of all the devotees and guiding the devotees to go to higher levels has been incomparable. We have amidst us a person who looks so simple, but divinity embodiment. We all offer our humble obeisance to this divine being who is always giving us his grace. My humble obeisance to Sri Paramapuja Sri Vinayananda Saraswati from Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashrama, Shivamogga, who gave a wonderful speech just now, enlightening us about the greatness of Bharat, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and the another amazing personality, none other than Sri Vivekananda. My humble obeisance to Tiruboki Avadhuta. He is from Madhugiri, a very renowned personality, a Swamiji, who is almost always in silence, but very profound, very deep in his knowledge and depth insight. My namaskaram, pranams to him. And Sukhapatikananda Swamiji, he is from Uttarakashi. And my humble namaskaram to the main force behind this event, Rishi Prabhakarji, Paramaguru. Very humbly I offer my salutations to him. And Satish Guruji, who is a Mahacharya, unfortunately he couldn't be here because of little indisposition. My salutations to him, and Sri Ramesh Chandra, Manasi, and all the other friends who are present here today. I have almost become one of you, as I told you yesterday itself. It is not, now I have dropped the feeling of being an invitee, just of coming here, enjoying and going. I have been a kind of part of RSVK since a long time, and always appreciated the concepts, the thought, the process of finding divinity within us. That has been the main talk behind the source behind all our great speakers. My humble salutations to him as well. And I would like to say just a few words about our amazing Samskruti. Bharatiya Samskruti, Sanatana Samskruti is so Puratan. Now Sanatan is Puratan. It is more than several thousands, probably 10,000 years itself is almost accountable. Before that, how many thousands of centuries we don't know. But it has been an amazing process of knowledge dissemination in the society by the great enlightened souls. The Rishis were not taught in books. They were not taught by somebody. They, in their transcendental state, they had connection with the supreme knowledge. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Paramatma itself is Jnana. Paramatma itself, himself is Ananda. So the Rishis had direct communication with the knowledge around them, and they noted it. That's how we got Vedas, Upanishads, Smritis, Puranas, and later on Mahakavyas. What a parampara we have. Unfortunately, all this great parampara, what the great gurus we had, right? Veda Vyasa, Patanjali, and the Kavyas which were written by Maharshi Valmiki, and the Mahabharata by Veda Vyasa. Every line is studded with extraordinary power of love, knowledge, and dharma. when we read the original Valmiki Ramayana, we realize the entire concept of dharma, Upanishads, everything is so beautifully embedded. I had an opportunity to present the life of Bharata once through dance form. When I read the original lines in Valmiki Ramayana, it is so wonderful. I melted down, and even today I feel highly horripilated. We have Rama, the greatest icon of Purushottama of our dharma in India and the entire world. And we have Bharata, who is almost parallel to him, who is almost equal to him in his sacrifice. Isn't it? Bharata's sacrifice is almost equal to Sri Ramachandra's sacrifice. Every line of Valmiki Ramayana is so profound. What knowledge great our rishis have contributed. You must have heard about Kanada, Maharshi, who created the Vaisheshika. Among the 6 darshanas, one is Vaisheshika, and that was created by Kanada Maharshi. He came to be known as Kanada because he was the first one to say matter's basic principle is atom. The idea of atom was first pronounced to the world by Kanada Maharshi, who came to be known as Kanada. Kana means atom. He was the oldest scientist we had. This discovery happened 4,000 years ago when Kanada Maharshi mentioned about the atom. Now the quantum physics is trying to explore more deep into the concept of atom. Quantum physics is dealing with atom, and now what has been told by the Upanishads, there is no matter, everything is energy. This was started by Einstein, who fell in love with Indian scriptures, Indian Dharma and Upanishads, and realized there is extraordinary knowledge and power in Indian scriptures. And this was followed by many great scientists. They very unequivocally and very humbly accepted that the knowledge which they are saying now has already been told by the rishis of India. Just in the morning, Sri Avinash Dharmadhikari gave such extraordinary speech regarding Bharatiya Samskruti and what we have lost and how to regain it in a very beautiful way. The whole world, there was something like a hidden conspiracy. When Britishers came, unfortunately, it was like a big hidden conspiracy. So the entire knowledge of India, Bharat, was completely undermined, and the Bharat was made to look like only snake charmer's place. Unfortunately, this was the image created when British ruled India. But slowly, Britishers, everybody, when they tried to discover India, even the Britishers, some of them very sincere to the core, not all of them were bad. Not all the research scholars were bad. There were many good research scholars who really found and realized India is not what they felt. What was found by Marco Polo, all the other people, no. They started discovering the real rishis of the country. They found this is a wealth of knowledge, a place of jnana and punya bhumi, karma bhumi. This was all realized by many people even in the West. And now we have a great following of Indian culture. Unfortunately, the only thing which is really saddens me, people like me, because I have been in the path of Bharatanatyam classical form for the past 50 years. This totally connects me to our ancient Indian culture. Whatever book I read, whatever thing I touch, everything is leading me to the great Indian heritage, Indian culture, the history, the knowledge, whatever has been said. It is not just dance. Even the dance form which we all see in the Natya Shastra, which was written 2200 years ago, it says, what is the purpose of the art form that was created? Dharmyam yashasyam ayushyam hitam buddhi vivartanam lokopadesha jananam natyame tad bhavishati. This art form I have created to give peace of mind to the people. Dharma, to follow dharma. Even the artist has to follow dharma and to pass on dharma teach dharma to the people who are watching it. See what, to some extent, the rishis have contributed. We have learnt. They all learnt by hearsay only. Everything was taught They heard, and they were, earlier they were, the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, all the Vedas were not written. They were all heard by the Gurus. The Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam happened, and everybody became, so many enlightened people became. So, the entire knowledge, Dharmyam, Yashasyam, Ayushyam, to give Yashas in life, Buddhi Vivardhanam, to evolution of the mind. That is Buddhi Vivardhanam, Dhi Yo Na Prachodayat. Our mind should be, awakened to a higher level. All these things, Buddhi Vivardhanam, Lokopadesha Jananam, Natyame Tad Bhavishyati. It says, to teach the great spiritual knowledge which was given by these rishis and scriptures to the common people. I have created this wealth of knowledge. That is the fifth Veda called Natya Veda. I am just quoting this because even a field like entertainment, a form of dance, but even in the form of dance, the original idea is lead us to the enlightenment. It is not materialistic enjoyment. This is so wonderful. We are so, every time we go through this, we are horripilated. When we teach our children, we're so emotional, we're so thrilled when we teach them. All the children are missing completely. Something, the Macaulay system, education system, everybody has already mentioned, Swamiji also mentioned, we are actually directly suffering because of that. Every child is actually suffering indirectly because, as Swamiji rightly has said, we are all wearing the dress of Indian, the body is Indian, but the mind is that of a Western. And people, our children now, they are not aware that actually their thinking process, their analysis, their knowledge about our own country is so poor. I have been in the field of, studying. I was with my curiosity, with my interest. I went through all the history, all the great books, discoveries, and Sanatana Dharma, the text, everything. And I really feel whatever I have studied in the past 30 years is not even one page of the Indian heritage. It is so vast. It is such a big ocean. And our children not being exposed to that wealth of knowledge. Our entire wealth is just locked and kept in. We are all looking outside towards the West in order to be better human beings. We think that if I have a good vehicle, if I have a luxurious house, if I have all the luxuries the world can provide, with just a touch of a button, I get everything. My life is successful. I am the most blessed person. This is the biggest wrong thought process which is completely destroying the human being, which was once again proclaimed by the Upanishads. The happiness, the joy, the divinity is within. Don't search it from outside. Search inside. Go inside. Turn inside. So this has been the most wonderful lesson we all have learned from our great masters. And during the process of, I would like to just say a couple of examples. In India, we are not being Indians. We have to discover our own country. That is the biggest responsibility we all have. Fortunately, with the great support of the thought process, Shri Rishi Prabhakarji, undoubtedly, he has picked up the essence of Swami Vivekananda. Whatever Swamiji just now spoke, all those aspects were beautifully conceived and taken and systematized, and beautiful classes, the different courses were created by Rishi Prabhakar Guruji. And the whole thought process, the Gurukula system, the essence of education in India, the development of character, all those things very beautifully Swamiji has taken. And I'm very happy Chanakya, Shri Avinash Dharmadhikari. So it's a beautiful name also, isn't it? Avinashi. Avinashi is such a wonderful word depicting God, and he is Dharmadhikari. He is not just Adhikari, he is Dharmadhikari. I feel, he should have been here when you say so say this with gratitude for his wonderful speech and the work he is doing. It's Avinashi, Dharmadhikari. We need such people. We need adhikaris, not just IAS adhikaris. We need dharmadhikaris who really love and dharma in their real essence, deep inside, and try to pass it on to the people. Unless we practice, we love deeply and imbibe the essence, we cannot preach. We cannot take it to the children. We have, as teachers of Bharatanatyam, every moment we face this big task of converting the Western mind to an Indian mind. The child comes and child basically is not even prepared to touch the feet. Right since there, that point we have difficulties when we face. The culture says, bow down to the Guru, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. We teach all that. They just say it, just lip sake. They don't follow, they don't believe in it. All the things, and then the Bindi, which we keep saying, Bindi is Ajna Chakra. It is the idea of Ajna Chakra which has been passed throughout. And even the Namam what we keep, it is Ajna Chakra's place. Please at least realize there is an Ajna Chakra. There is something called an Ajna Chakra. So this process, we really find it very difficult to connect them to our own gods, to our own concepts. This is a big task that is happening. It is in the classical field itself we find such a big task. And what about the schools and colleges? They are totally converting Indians to non-Indians. This is the biggest problem we are all facing. We have to work very hard in this aspect. Every institution like Rishi Samskruti Vidya Kendra, I'm so thrilled with this word itself, the name itself. Rishi Samskruti, that Parampara Vidya Kendra, and Siddha Samadhi Yoga. They are all wonderful things. We had a few experiences when we traveled abroad as Bharatanatyam dancers. I would like to just tell you what can happen to our own people, our own hearts when we go outside. What we all see that the Western world has very generally bad opinion about our country. But we also found the other side of it. When we travel to Europe, normally this has been our regular dress. Because this is our Samskruti. Though I actually come from film field, my learning, everything started as a dancer. So I always carry the feeling of a dancer inside. Then after few years, I left my films and completely dedicated myself to Bharatanatyam only. So we decided we will wear always the dress which represents Indian Samskruti only. So abroad also, my wife in sari and myself in this regular dress, Indian dress, we were walking in a busy street like Brigitte Road in Germany, Nuremberg. I tell you, it was a very busy street, all foreigners, completely dressed in the Western way, all big shoes and long coats, hats, they were all walking and all very serious faces. Nobody looked into the eyes of the other person. Like here also, everybody were busy. When suddenly we noticed, they turned towards us and many people started raising their hands and folding and doing namaskarams to us. Many people. We were really amazed. We thought, what are they doing? Why are they doing namaskaram to us? In India, at least when we know, we are gurus, dance gurus. So there are many people who immediately acknowledge us as gurus and they come to us. In the sense, I'm not referring to the guru as the realized gurus and enlightened gurus like them. This is Bharatanatyam gurus. This is also a name which is given to the Bharatanatyam teacher who has spent entire life in that, in pursuing the art. So as Bharatanatyam, then we were surprised. They don't have, they're there in that marketplace, our posters were not there. They don't know who is Sridhar and Anuradha, but they were still folding their hands. Within few seconds we understood they were folding hands for a Bharatiya Samskruti. The moment we went in, they saw us, noticed us. All the foreigners, all the Western European and all other people were there on the street. Different country people were walking there. But they recognized Bharat. I tell you, that was a great moment and very thrilling moment for us when we were receiving this, and a few also said Namaste. We could say when they came close and say Namaste. So we were really touched. See, they are all following our country, our culture, the idea of spirituality, the dharma which Bharat projects. They are very straight following. And in one place, they had the lady of the organization in France had changed her name to Kamala. The name of and the organization name was Savitri. They were influenced by Aurobindo Ghosh, and they named the institution as Savitri, which is the greatest book written by Aurobindo Maharshi, and her name as Kamala. So, and she said, please speak about Mahabharata to the people around. And they were all yoga practitioners sitting in the class, and there were about 40 of them. And we addressed, and they said, what is the contemporary quality of Mahabharata? You please explain. Mahabharata is not an ancient epic. It is always contemporary. It is happening now. It is happening now, not only in the world. It is inside our hearts. Mahabharata is an eternal fight between good and bad that is happening in our hearts itself. Realize that. Where are Pandavas and Kauravas? They are inside. Our own weaknesses, our own positivity. It is the clash between these two. So basically, that lady could appreciate that. She said, please explain this to the sadhaks. So these were the experiences. And one last thing, which was really an eye-opener to me also, we were signing certain posters, very big posters of our photographs. They were printed and people were buying for 2 pounds, 10 pounds in the launch. After our performance, there was a big queue. Everybody came and they used to buy our posters. My wife and myself in dance pose with all the jewelry, costume, and my musicians also. And everybody were really very thrilled to see this costume, Bharatanatyam costume. They thought this is very unique. You know, for us we see every day, but for them this is very unique, and this is representation of God's itself. So that divine concept they really liked, and they were taking our signatures on that. And already about 20 centers we had performed, and we were doing our signatures in English, and it was going. And at one place, one lady, she said, the moment we are doing the signature, on the dais we were signing, and she looked at all of us doing the signature. She said, why are you doing your signature in English? This was the first time I heard somebody asking me this. Do we ever question ourselves, why are we still doing our signature in English? It is only Hastakshar. For Hastakshar, why it has to be in English itself? Why not my mother tongue? Why not our own language? It is Hastakshar. No, it can be in any way you can sign. That was really a stunning moment. The question itself came like a bolt. And I was shaken, and immediately I thought, okay, she's telling me to sign in my mother tongue. Immediately my mind went to Kannada, and I thought I would sign. I didn't even put the pen down. I was about to sign in Kannada. The next bolt came, Indians, your language is Samskrita. That French lady says, please sign in Samskritam because that is your language. A foreigner says this. What about our hearts? Ask yourselves. What do you feel? What is Samskritam? Just now, so many, AI, regarding AI, Avinashji was mentioning the most closest language in the world which can understand AI is Samskritam. That is the Deva Bhasha. Our people are talking nonsense regarding it's a dead language, it is a gone language. Entire generation after generation is getting enlightened because and going into a higher level because of Samskritam. Samskritam is Samskruti. So that lady tells me, do the signature in Sanskrit. I tell you, I really sweat at that moment. My hand was shivering, and I really, because I had learnt Devanagari Bhasha, I wrote my name in Sanskrit, in Devanagari, and after that I was dazed for days together. Even after I came back to India, I really felt, I kept thinking about it. It really opened another important side of my mind. How much am I really connected to my country's heritage? What is our Samskriti? How much Samskriti gives us? But we are all many of us are just wearing the robes, putting tilakams, doing some things, but externally, but inside, how much of Indianness and Indian Samskriti, Bharatiya Samskriti, which is telling us to find yourself inside. Go deep into inside. Forget about the material world. Everything will fall at your feet. For that, you don't have to leave everything and go to forests and meditate. You just meditate, you lead a good life. Just meditation is enough to take her to peace. The moment we are in peace within inside, the world looks wonderful. Our viewpoint itself changes. Ajnana Chimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So this naturally happens the moment we go deep inside and meditate. The reality, the truth unfolds and it opens our eyes to the reality of the world. This is something wonderful, and we feel very sad with our children, particularly the next generations. It is all our responsibility. There are not many children here. They are all elders, people who are sadhaks. But what about the youngsters? Where are they listening? Who is telling them? The media, the WhatsApp, the Facebook and the TV media, it is totally misleading them. The cinema media also. It is not telling them to go in the right direction. We are very strongly influenced by the wrong things of life. And people think that is wonderful. So this has to be broken, this idea has to be changed. Not broken, slowly it is a small tilt towards the truth. And children have to be groomed, actually catch them young, that is the word. And many people are doing this. The Gurukula system concept, what Guruji has said, and what Avinash Adhikari, Dharmadhikari ji is trying to do. And we also have one in Karnataka, which is called Vishnugupta University. It's a very beautifully, Ramachandrapur Mat Swamiji has started Vishnugupta Vishwavidyalaya near Gokarna. He's a very renowned Swamiji. He's doing a wonderful work. There, children are taught basics of CBSE system education, but the more importance is given to the scripture, the Samskruti culture. The Indian scriptures, Vedas, Upanishads, the concepts, Bhagavad Gita, all these things are being taught. And like Swamiji said, scriptures and inner experience. Like the Sharanas, you must have heard, the Karnataka had two very great devotional paths. One is Dasa Samskruti, another is Sharana Samskruti. The Sharanas were the laborers. There was a washerman, and a goldsmith, a blacksmith, and a boatman. All these people, just by the inspiration from the great 12th century saint poet, the divine Basaveshwara as we call him, taking inspiration from him, they all became enlightened masters, and they wrote extraordinary poems called Sharana Vachanas. Extraordinary poems they have written. All within five lines, the ultimate truth has been expressed. In one among Basavana's sentences, the idea which Avinash Dharmadhikari ji had mentioned, work is worship. Do work as worship, no? That was explained by Basavana ji as Kayakave Kailasa. That is one of the greatest sentences ever written in Kannada language, and it says Kayakave Kailasa. Do the work, any karma, do it as a way of worship. Do it just for the sake of God. Let me do it, even sweeping. Even if I want to sweep, it is for the God Almighty I am doing this particular thing. There is no menial work in the world, nothing low at all. Every work is divine by nature. Whole Prakriti is divine. This is so wonderful. So this is the greatest contribution. And as a boy of studying in engineering, I had visited 45 years ago Goa. And the moment I saw Goa, and the way my friends reacted when they entered Goa, they thought the Goa was a big bar. They entered Goa thinking that till the boundary, everybody was different. All the boys were well controlled. The moment we entered Goa, everybody went out of control. They thought this is a big bar. Everybody had to go to some wine stores on the way, and everybody drank and fell down there itself. This was what I thought, and I was so shocked. So since then, the Goa image and the beaches and the life there, several drugs, other problems, this really put me off and never dared to enter Goa after those 45 years. And it is only now, because of VISHWA HRIDAYA SAMMELAN, I have entered Goa again, and I discover the problem is not what we see on the beaches. It's in the eye, it's in the heart. It is not the Goa, what is projected outside, and what bit of 5% of light that we see, that is not the real Goa. The Goa is definitely, as many people have said yesterday, it is also a Punya Bhumi. Just see, go around. At the moment I came from the airport to here, I was totally dumbfounded. I loved the beauty, that pavitrata, the prakriti, the divinity around, and realized, beauty lies in the beholder's eye. The divinity is within us, and that's what you choose, where you go look at, and that is not the Indian Samskriti. It's a kind of imposed Samskriti, what we see there. It is Western world which always mentioned about the beaches and its culture. But beyond that, there is a great Samskriti in Goa, a great culture, and that was beautifully chosen by Rishi Prabhakarji to develop the ashram here. How beautiful, what a beautiful ashram place. I really bow down to Swamiji's vision. He's a great visionary, and I really wish this place develops into very great place, achieves and does very wonderful work. My humble respects and obeisance to all the sadhaks and acharyas of RSVK, who have also always, I really feel very touched and feel very happy to see every one of them, because it is not the body, I see their hearts, their good souls. So with lot of humility and love, I tell you all my obeisance, my sashtang pranams to all of you, and my best wishes. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.